And the question is, what we have seen in our first degree price discrimination, that monopolists identify each and every customer's demand curve. Do you think it is reasonable? Do you think that monopolist can identify demand curve for each and every individual customer? No, this is not a plausible assumption. So we get into market separation or third degree price discrimination, in which monopolist, he separates buyers into several identifiable markets. Probably he has 10,000 customers. He cannot know the demand curve of 10,000 customers. But he can identify that there are some low type customers and there are some high type customers. So some say 500 of these, 5,000 of these 10,000 customers are low type and 5,000 of these 10,000 customers are high type. He can identify probably two markets. One is low type market, another is a high type market. So this is a reasonable assumption. Okay, instead of finding out the demand curve of each of these 10,000 customers. So what does he do is, in order to identify these markets, he will identify the elasticities of these markets. Okay, and he'll separate these markets on the basis of elasticities. So, and he will be setting the price on the basis of elasticity rule. Elasticity rule. Elasticity rule is that marginal cost is equal to P into 1 plus 1 upon elasticity. This is what you have. Now suppose there are two markets, I and J, and suppose marginal cost in I is equal to the marginal cost in J. That is, marginal cost in both the markets are equal. So MCI is PI 1 plus 1 upon EI, and MCJ is PJ 1 plus 1 upon EJ. Since MCI is equal to MCJ, so you can write it as PI 1 plus 1 upon EI is equal to PJ 1 plus 1 upon EJ. This is what you have. So you can write this as PI by PJ equals to 1 plus 1 upon EJ divided by 1 plus 1 upon EI. So one of the consequences of setting the price this way is, depending on elasticity, is that he will be setting a price higher in the market which has lower elasticity. Okay, and he'll be setting a price lower in the market which has higher elasticity. See, what does elasticity tells you? Elasticity tells you what is the degree of substitutability among the goods. In case if the product which this monopolist is selling, it has few substitutes available, then the elasticity in that market will be higher. Okay, while in case if the elasticity is lower, it would mean that it doesn't have any close substitutes. So it can set a higher price in that market. Fine. So this is what the elasticity rule is. So I'll just write this, that high price, low elasticity. Low price, high elasticity. Now, let us try to look at it from the diagrammatic point of view. Suppose you have this curve here. Okay, so let me just name this here. This is the demand curve, and this is the MR curve for the monopolist. Let's say it is D1 and this is MR1. Fine. And let's say this is the marginal cost curve which you have for the monopolist. Now equilibrium 1 is defined at this point. Fine. And let me just name this here as revenue and costs. This is the quantity which you have. Okay, so the amount which is going to be produced is given by this, and the price which is going to be charged is this. This is Q1 and this is P1. Okay, now let us make one of our curve little more elastic. Fine. And because of that you might have this kind of a curve here. So what you are trying to do here is that your equilibrium is going to be defined at this point. Here let's say E2, and the price which is going to be charged is P2. Okay, so this is D2 and this is MR2. You getting the point? So price charged in more elastic market is lower than the price charged in less elastic market. Okay, market 2 is more elastic than market 1, so the price charged in elastic market is lower than the price charged in the less elastic market.